But of course I am. Now I'm probably weirder than he ever was. And it's okay now. But in 1971, it wasn't. Well, that was 75 by the time that happened.
I wondered where that was in the years. And so you mentioned a few times like you were taking on energy, like such as the shopping mall or when you were healing. Part of your training was to learn how not to do that. Is that something you can just share with in words, or is that for the audience out there something they would need to train to do?
Let me try. I think the most important part of that is one thing I teach in my spiritual development classes is owning your spiritual or your sacred space. And what I ask people to do is visualize a bubble of white light, or you know those domes they put on perpetual motion clocks that keep going forever. It's to contain the energy. So if you are responsible or accountable for everything that's in your sacred space, and you make a commitment to only allow into your space the things that are beneficial to you or that you really need to know, then you're not going to just be affected by what is going on all around you. This is going to sound awful, but I have to say, when I heard that this terrible thing had happened in Haiti, I was glad that I hadn't picked it up. I was thrilled that I had actually come to a place where I wasn't flat out in bed because something had happened disastrous to people. Because that's what had happened in the first part of my opening, is that I would have just been devastated for days. And well, after tsunami, that was breakthrough for me, was because it was Christmas night, and I have a family that I'm very, very close to that calls me, the father calls me his spiritual mom, and I'm his teacher or whatever, have been for many years. And I had been at their place for lunch, and then I'd gone to my daughter's place for supper. And my daughter is this amazing cook who makes all of these amazing desserts, and I usually end up tasting a little bit of this. So when I got home after that, and I felt so badly, I thought it was because I'd eaten the wrong foods that day. But as I said before, I thought I was having a heart attack. I thought I was just... And I'm sitting in my lazy boy chair and looking at the television, and the phone's way over across the room, and I didn't have a cell phone then. I probably wouldn't have had it beside me. But I thought, I probably will die in this chair. That's how seriously it affected me. And then, after I got my thinking about cleared a bit, I thought, I don't think this is me. And it was interesting because my friend Sandra and Hanukkah had just given me a geode, a beautiful amethyst geode with a mirror on it for Christmas. And I had put some beautiful stones. Another friend had given me a huge Herkimer diamond that he collected in Herkimer, New York. And I put several of those stones around. And it was like, what can I do to help myself? And I was shown to go and pick up that Herkimer diamond and put it in one of those cages that you wear around your neck. And as soon as I did that, I felt better. I didn't know that tsunami had happened until I turned on the television the next morning, because there wasn't news media until after midnight, and I'd gone off to bed. But I knew that it had been somewhere in the world, because I could see all of these spirits floating up off the world, just, what happened kind of thing. And I'd spent 6 hours what I call helping people transition, you know, because a spirit would come at me and they'd have their mouth wide open and their eyes are in shock, you know, and I'd say, it's okay, you know, you can go to the light, and they'd go, phew. And I would work with this people that I saw, and I didn't go to sleep until 6 o'clock in the morning. And then when I woke up, I heard that the tsunami had hit. And so I realized that that's what I'd been working with. But at that point, what I did was I said, okay, I'm sealing my dome, my bubble of light. And only the things, if there's something I can do about it, then I want to know about it. But if there's not something I can do about it, then I don't. And that works most of the time. I lost a very, very close friend between Christmas and New Year's, and it didn't work. Because when he was dying, I was on his couch feeling like I was dying. So, and it was 3 days before I knew what had happened to him. But I'm not always there. So that's why when I heard about Haiti, I started sending love and light immediately. But part of me said, you know, you've been feeling okay the last few days, and that's a good thing, because it didn't affect you physically like it usually does. So that was a good thing for me.
Talk to us now about the different modalities that you do practice. Do you have an actual clinic that you practice in, or from home?
Well, this is Wholeness Place is a healing center, and so I have a healing room upstairs. I'll show you later if you like.
Great.
And people can come to have healing work done with me. I don't call it Reiki because I was doing it long before I'd even heard the term, but I took 2 levels of Reiki back in the early 80s and thought, well, this isn't anything special, and so I didn't even bother with that, and it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I don't know what to call it. I call it spiritual healing, because that's what I was taught to call it in 1975.
Yeah.
But I have my friend Andrea does all my web work, so she has the word Reiki on the website, because I have taken Reiki, but it's kind of complicated when people say, what kind of healing you do? I go, I don't know, I just do what I do.
Fantastic. I like that explanation.
But yeah, I have recalled many previous lifetimes where I was a healer, so that automatically came in as soon as I opened up to that, and so I don't know what I called it in those lifetimes, so I don't call it anything.
That's fantastic. And so when you hear about people boxing things in and labeling things and this is how you have to do it, that must not resonate with you.
No.
Right.
No. You can call it whatever you want to call it, but you know, there's a source of love and light that can be called whatever you want to call it, and it'll work. But no, don't try to box me in, because I don't like boxes.
Excellent.
I don't like labels either. I don't like being too specific. I work very hard, especially when I'm talking about, I'm rewriting my Path to Wholeness book right now, and I'm trying to articulate as clearly as I possibly can what a label for a specific, and it's so hard for me.
So I'm glad you brought up A Path to Wholeness. Whatever you want to say about the book, whatever you want to put out there, just go for it.
Okay.